Hey everybody, my name is Anita and I'd like to welcome you to the Honey Hive. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Honey Hive. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Anita. Nice to meet you. Here at the Honey Hive, we are bringing you Black women entrepreneurs, community leaders, and those who can speak on social justice issues. So, happy Friday. We made it through another week. Hooray! I am super excited because today I am joined by someone I am super excited to introduce you guys to, because she's doing some great things in the community. She has started a brand, she's started an agency, she's given you a whole lot of Black girl magic all the way from Chicago, my hometown. So please, without further ado, help me welcome Dinai Yelverton. Yay! How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Like I said, I'm super excited to have you on. Little backstory. Her husband and I have known each other for a long time. We used to dance and everything together. So I saw him post about you and I immediately clicked on your profile and I was like, oh yes, let's get to know her because she does great things. Like I just immediately felt like, wow, I'm so inspired. And I think that it's such a great thing that you're doing for the community, and all of the things that you have, branched out and done for the community have been so inspiring. So I'm super excited, like I said, to get to know you more, to know your story, hear a little bit about your journey, and share it with, my followers, and also get to have you, get some more support behind your campaign and everything like that. So
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Seriously, yes. I appreciate you reaching out. It's so crazy when people are like, yeah, I would love to hear your story. I'm like, really? Why? But I'm so excited to be here with you. And thank you again for having me.
Yes. And I mean, you guys can see behind her beautiful family. So we'll get into a little bit of that as well, because she is a mother of a young Black queen. So we're going to, ask her about that. But I want to know, first and foremost, you have an agency, right? And I want to know how you got started, what made you interested in doing that, and have you always wanted to do it? It's called the UDE agency, you guys. And again, as always, I'll make sure I have everything in the description box below, but tell us, how did you get started with that?
If you would have asked me years ago if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, the answer would have been no. It was not something that I was striving for. It was not on my radar at all. I kind of fell into it, if you will. I actually have a finance background, so I was an auditor for KPMG for a few years. Went into communications, worked for an aviation company, found my way into social media. So I've done a little bit of everything, but I've always had a love for event planning, specifically producing experiences around community, and really just being a part of everyday life, seeing people smile, seeing people have a good time. I feed off of that. And so I started planning events on the side. It was my side hustle for a while. I would do weddings on weekends and go to my 9 to 5. I would take client calls during lunch, look at venues during lunch, but it got to be a bit much. And as you mentioned, I am a mother. I'm a mother of 2. And so I decided to leave and really put a lot of time and effort into developing, my business, which at the time was Undeniable Events. And so in March of 2016, so it has been 5 years officially this month.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It has been 5 years since I have taken that leap and decided to leave corporate America and to focus on building my brand. And so at the time I was 3 months pregnant with my son and everyone thought I was crazy, but it was a move that had to happen. And so it's been a very interesting journey. It's had a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but it's been amazing. But most recently decided to focus more so on the agency as opposed to just, event planning. So being able to provide more services, more resources, if you will, especially following COVID. I had to get a little creative.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's great. I mean, it's like I said, I felt inspired just by seeing the things that you were doing and, looking at the events that you were creating and like you said, the experiences, and they looked just like your goal was to make people smile and to make people happy. And that's what your pictures and your posts portrayed. And to see the evolution of it, I know that you recently were involved with American Express 100 by 100, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, 100. So it's American Express 100 Founders of Change. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it just, like I said, just seeing all of those things, was like, wow, like she's really doing some great things. And just like listening to some of the videos that you post and things like that. And even with you starting with like people wanting to know your story and you're like, why? Like, and I mean, but it's relatable, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we all kind of sometimes have that, like, who wants to hear what we have to say, or like who, is really going to be impacted by that. But one thing that I really admired and stuck with me when I watched your video, as far as your journey towards your new campaign, which is 2020 Perfect Vision, you said, what if I don't start this and someone else doesn't start theirs?
Yeah.
And that stuck with me because it's just so powerful, because you never know who is going to be impacted by what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I think that was like something that really stuck out to me. So I'm curious to know, now that we're talking about, 2020 Perfect Vision, how did that come about? Like, where did you get that?
Yeah, that was God. Seriously. And it is so interesting because I remember distinctively where I was when this vision came to me. I was sweeping my stairs. It was 2018 and my uncle was here, and I remember saying to him, like, what if I did something around vision in the year 2020? And it just seemed so far-fetched. It seemed like, oh, that would be such a cute idea. And I just like brushed it off. Seriously, I brushed it off because I'm like, yeah, like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it was something that kept like nagging me to the point where I started doing research and started realizing that there were huge disparities between vision eye care for African Americans and Hispanic youth. Yeah. And so as I did more research, as I prayed on it, God really told me, like, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
And the vision seemed so large and so unobtainable. I'm like, God, how do I do this? How do I, this event planner, produce a mobile tour by myself, get a bus, like it just, for the life of me, I couldn't just figure out how this is going to happen. And so I kept playing around with it, like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. And so I remember praying, and I remember asking God, like, okay, if this is something you want me to do, just make it plain and I will do it scared. Like, I'm very afraid right now. I don't see how everything is going to line up. But if you tell me this is what you want me to do, I will do it, and I will just push through it. And as I was in the car, I do like these little voice memos just to kind of see where I am as I go on through this journey of entrepreneurship. And I was recording this day, and I'm talking out loud, just kind of talking to God. And I remember him saying, like, what if you don't plan this event, and because you don't do this, somebody else doesn't do what they're intended to do?
Yeah.
And so I firmly believe that God places people in your life for a reason. He places situations in your life. He places, all of these things are not by coincidence. You know what I mean? And so if I decided to be scared and I decided not to walk in my purpose, how do I know that I missed out on blessing someone else? How do I know that someone else could be having a dream that they want to do and they see the perfect vision and they're like, oh, well, she did it, so I absolutely can do it. Ooh. And I know that has happened in my life where I've seen people where I'm like, hey, she is killing it and she did this, she made this work. I know I can do it. Yeah, and so it was one of those aha moments where I'm like, it's not about me. Dinai, this isn't about you. Yes, you're afraid, but God is using you for something else. So you have to just continue to do this, even if you are scared and you're uncertain and you don't see how this is gonna, work out. It's not about you right now. And so that was a hard pill to swallow because it was because I'm like, God, I don't see how this is gonna happen. And then when COVID hit, I was like, oh yeah, nope, it's not gonna happen. Like that's it. I tried, God. You told me to do it. I tried it. It didn't work. But it ended up happening by the grace of God. And I have cried many a tear. I've been on the floor praying like, God, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. Just please see me through it. And he absolutely did. But yeah, it was a journey, like from that moment of hearing, hey, this is what I want you to do, to actually seeing it manifest. Yeah. It was, just mind blowing.
That is, I'm trying to tell you, like, you just spoke something so powerful into my heart. And I know that anyone watching, they are going to be inspired by it because it's so like us to be like, okay, well, I don't know how this is gonna work. And, you get scared. And the fact that you said, if this is what you want me to do, I'll do it scared. Like, there have been times where I've had previous guests where I've literally said, like, if God tells you to go, you just have to go, and he will plan out the rest. He will take care of the rest, but you go if this is what he's telling you to do. And for you to, kind of keep track, like you said, of your journey from start to finish and to see it. I know that is something that's probably so powerful for you to be able to see it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I can only imagine how that makes, your family feel, your children feel, like, just to see, like, my mom is out here getting it, you know what I mean? And doing some great things. I want to know, 2020 vision, is this something perfect vision, is this something where you're going to continue, for this year? Now we're in 2021, is this going to be an ongoing type of campaign? Because it's a great idea.
Yeah, so thank you. I am figuring that out now. I think the short answer is yes, it is something that I do want to continue. It's just a matter of what does that look like and how do I continue to do it. So I'm praying on it right now just to get direction on how do I, continue to do this, because I don't think it was a one and done type of thing.
Right.
Initially, I thought it was going to be like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this little pop-up. It's going to be super cute. 2020, that's it. No.
Right.
I'm figuring all of that out now. Even, down to if this is something that I turn into a nonprofit. And so I just want to make sure whatever decision is made, it is the best decision for the campaign and for the community, because ultimately I just want to continue to provide these services, but also still balance working. And so as you can imagine, this campaign, it took up a lot of my time. And so I'm at a place now where it's like, I have to find that balance. So short answer is yes, but I'm definitely working out the details of what that looks like moving forward.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit just about the inner workings of it. Like, did you have doctors on board the bus and people are just coming in having free eye care?
Yeah.
What did that look like?
Yeah, so I partnered with a local optometrist. She's an African-American woman. She is amazing, Dr. Stephanie. And I did not know her. I shot her an email and she never responded. And then literally the week that we were launching, she called me. And she was like, hey, I would love to support you. Literally the week of, like, I had started planning to just launch it on that day and just so people could come and see the bus, but we weren't even going to do vision screenings because I didn't have a doctor yet. But she called me and she was like, I want to do this. I want to support you. And so she, along with the Illinois Eye Institute, they provided doctors and students that came to actually do the vision screenings. At one location, we were able to do vision screenings and eye exams, which was really good. And then we also partnered with VSP. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're a vision healthcare provider. They donated vouchers so that any of the families that did not have insurance, they could go get a free comprehensive eye exam as well as free glasses and no cost to them. And so there were a number of players that helped to make sure that this campaign was a success. Definitely the doctors, Illinois Eye Institute and VSP, and then my amazing friends who volunteered to actually help, as we were activating. So, with COVID, we had to implement all these new protocols of temperature screenings and making sure everyone had hand sanitizer and literally wiping down everything after each family. And so my friends, shout out to Lauren, Janelle, and Joy, they and Shannon, right? They, showed up and volunteered their time and their resources. Sarah, who literally was like at every campaign stop, was making sure that we were getting footage and, taking pictures. And so I have an awesome village that has supported the campaign. And so behind the scenes, it was me doing a lot of the legwork. But once we got to a point, people were like, hey, if you need a volunteer, I'm here for you. And I'm just incredibly grateful for everyone that, kind of showed up when I needed them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And like I said, just to see it, and to see how you transformed this RV into, it's so inspiring. And I encourage you guys, like I said, I'll have all of her information in the description box below, but I encourage you to check her out, check out her website and all the things that she has going on, because I know that they'll bless you. And look and see how you can help her. You know what I mean? My mission has always been to bring exposure to, things that Black women are doing in the communities. And it doesn't stop just because I'm in, California. She's in Chicago. So if you're watching and you're in Chicago and you want to help, or you want to get involved in any way, or you have, something that can help her, reach out to her. Let's support her. Let's uplift her. You know what I mean? And help her to bring all of these things to the community, because we need them. It's so sad, really, how
it is
different, the communities are, the resources that we have. And that's a world, a nation thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not just in Chicago, that's out here in LA, that's, every Detroit, all of these different places where our children and the generation under us really need as much help as they can get, because
they do.
It's almost like, we've always had to look out for ourselves and each other, you know what I mean? But I feel like our generation really is tapping into the importance of community and helping each other and lifting each other and building each other up. And you are just an extension of that. I really do believe that God is going to be doing some great things. Thank you. I am totally praying for you and everything that you have going on, because I honestly can see 2020 Perfect Vision as a nonprofit. Like, I think that's an amazing idea.
Claim it. I receive it.
Because I just feel like that's such a great thing. Like, I don't know. And that's not to say that it's not out there, but like, I've never really heard of, you know what I mean? Like this type of thing where it's
and that's the thing. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was what I was finding too. Like, even here in Chicago, I don't know if you went to a CPS school, but I remember like in elementary school, they would have like a van come and they'll do vision screening, you know, but that was it. And then it was kind of up to the parent to then take them to actually get an eye exam and the glasses and stuff. And so my thing was meeting people where they are. Like, the two biggest factors of why they aren't getting the help they need is affordability and accessibility. So if they don't have access to it, they're not going to go. And if it's too expensive, then, you know, that's it. So it was like, how do I combat those two things? Well, I'm going to bring the services to your neighborhood. Literally, you can just come on this bus and it's intriguing, it's bright, it's fun. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you're going to the clinic. You know, it was supposed to make it fun and also provide resources. And so I don't think there are tons of programs, you know, that provide healthcare services. We're definitely not the first to do it, but in a way that felt authentic, you know, in a way that was a little bit different and not so something is wrong with you and we are doing charitable work for these poor little kids. You know, it wasn't about that. And for me personally, it was like, how are we bringing vision figuratively and literally? Like, here I am, this little Black girl, I'm from Chicago, you know what I mean? My vision was to produce this campaign and I was afraid. Maybe your vision is to be a doctor, maybe your vision is to be a singer. And so it was kind of twofold, like, you know, I want to bring vision, I want to inspire you guys to the point where, I don't know if I mentioned it, the decor of the outside of the bus, because we wrapped the bus, I got 3 young men from Chicago to create an original art piece to go on the bus. And so the only direction I gave them was, you know, create something that instills vision or big dreaming, whatever that means to you, just create it. And they came back with this amazing artwork and we put it on the exterior of the van. And so when this big blue RV is driving down the street, you see your artwork. And I think that's very powerful, especially for young African-American men. It's like, my artwork is on this bus, you know, it's on a larger canvas. Right. And so that was big for me. You know, yes, we need the glasses, we need the eye care, but even past that, how do we continue to inspire our youth? So that was important.
Ooh, I love it. I think it's so beautiful. And just like you said, like just that opportunity of giving, you know, someone else a chance to kind of get a highlight and shine a little bit, you know. And like you said, see their artwork out on the street, like how confident boosting, you know, that is for them, and be able to, you know, share that with their family and their friends, things like that. So that's amazing to me. I'm curious, you know, I know you said that like with 2020 Perfect Vision, it came from God and everything, but I'm also curious to know what else inspires you. Like, where do you draw your inspiration from?
My children, and my mother. So my mother, she was a single parent and she is just amazing. She's a pharmacist. And so I watched her growing up. She went back to school to get her doctorate when I was in elementary school. And so I watched her and I was kind of on her journey with her. And now she's an entrepreneur. She's a business owner. And so, you know, just kind of seeing my mother go after what it is she wants, like, once my mom has her mind made up on something, she's going to make it happen. And so I think I kind of have a little bit of that from her. And then my children, you know, I'm their first example of what a woman looks like, a mother, business owner, all of that. And so I take that to heart. And I want to instill certain things in my children. Mommy work towards something. And I remember one of the deciding factors in launching my business was, how am I going to tell my daughter or my son to go after their dreams if I'm not even doing it myself? And so that really pushed me because like, how can I do that? And mommy is unhappy in her job, but I'm telling you, but you go after your dreams. And so I wanted to show them that. And so they're on this journey with me. They inspire me because I know they're watching me. And I know they're taking little nuggets here and there. And that is what really motivates me.
I love that. That's beautiful. And speaking of your children, like I mentioned before, she is a mom of a beautiful young queen and a young king. I'm interested to know, as far as your daughter is concerned, with the times that we're living in and the things that, society tries to put on us as Black women, what are you sharing with her? Like, what little tidbits are you giving her now to kind of, get her in that right headspace as a Black woman?
Yeah, that's very interesting because my daughter just turned 9, and my husband and I were having conversations on like, what is appropriate, when is an appropriate time to talk about different things. And so I think we've done a pretty good job of just always encouraging her to be her authentic self. You know what I mean? Like, you are a beautiful Black girl. Like, even from the time she was little, family members would always, hey, here's a book with a Black girl on the cover, or here are dolls, that are Black. So always just kind of putting things in her life to where she could see herself has definitely been key, especially as she's been younger. But now that she's older, she gets things a little more, and she's a very intuitive person, very intelligent young girl. And so we know that there's some conversations we're just going to have with her. And so, when all this civil unrest started to take place, we were having those age-appropriate conversations with her and just telling her that unfortunately, this is the society that we live in. It's not right. But that doesn't take away from who we are. We're still amazingly Black women, unapologetically Black and all of that. And so we put all of that into her and we pour that into her. And I think because she has such an amazing village of aunts and uncles and friends and, she has a good village that supports her, I think that definitely helps. She goes to a school that is diverse. It's very diverse. And so, we tread that line of saying, yes, you have a best friend who's not African American, and that's fine. And there's been some interesting conversations, especially when she first started at this school, she was the only African American girl in her class. And then some African American girls came in the class, and then she was like, well, I want to hang with them because they look like me. And so it was just like, hey, how do we manage these conversations where, we aren't continuing to provide this divide, but still allowing her to be comfortable and proud of who she is.
Right.
And so, as a parent, you do the best you can. And I think, we're trying to instill that pride within her, but just also letting her know that, people are people and we are to love everyone, no matter their skin color. There's some people that don't get it. And that's ignorance. But, there are a lot of good people in the world. I know right now it feels like everyone is bad, but there are a lot of good people in the world. And so we just try to continue to feed the positivity.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I love that. I think, I haven't been blessed with children yet, but I can imagine, the types of conversations, like you said, that you have to have. And especially now, with everything that's going on. So hats off to you and Derek for, doing it and bringing up some great, amazing little humans to the world. I want to shift gears just a little bit and just talk about, how you have, again, created a lane that is very unique for yourself, and for your company. And I know that one of those is the Mommies and Mixers events that you had. I know because of COVID and being the pandemic and all that stuff, I had to shift around. But I would like to know kind of I guess just like your thoughts behind that and what, how you created that and your goal for that particular event.
Yeah, so Mommies and Mixers was an event that I launched in 2017. And the goal originally was to get moms together in a place, like-minded moms, to really just mix, mingle, and make a difference. Like, that was what I wanted to do. Because I know, like, as a mom, you just kind of need that off day. Like, you just need a day to be with your girls and just kind of hang out. And as you know, my heart is always on community and how I can do something bigger. And so in my mind, I was like, well, if I'm bringing all these awesome, dope moms together in a room, like, how can we do something that is gonna, benefit the community? Yeah. And so I decided to partner with local organizations that support moms that are experiencing homelessness or families that are experiencing homelessness. And so what we do, we come, we brunch. However, everyone is encouraged to bring something. And so the first year, we partnered with an organization, New Moms, and at that time, they just needed like clothes, like the women needed interview clothes and, clothes for children. And so I had everyone bring clothes. And then the last couple of years, partnered with a shelter here in Chicago. And the biggest need was diapers and wipes. They had tons of little babies at the shelter. And any mom knows you go through so many diapers and wipes, and they are very expensive. Yes. And so imagine being a mom who is homeless, who lives in a shelter, and you don't have the resources to get diapers and wipes, how much stress that can cause. And so we partnered with the Primo Center here in Chicago, collected diapers and wipes prior to the event as well as on site, and was able to donate, these resources to the organization. I launched Mommies and Mixers in DC in 2018, I want to say it was. And so that year, I think we provided like somewhere around like 14,000 or 20,000 diapers and wipes to organizations in Chicago and DC. And again, I may be the person behind the scenes doing the work, but that was the community that showed up. You know what I mean? That was the community that came and donated. And so couldn't do it all by myself, but that was amazing. And again, that was another one of those things where I'm like, go to DC, God, why? I just want to stay in Chicago. That seems like too much work. But it was received very well. And moving forward, I do hope to continue to do these things. Of course, last year was not able to. However, we did a virtual diaper drive. And so people could, there was a link on my Instagram page. You could purchase, diapers from Amazon and get them shipped directly to the organization. And so hopefully, this year we can do something a little different. But yeah, that is Mommies and Mixers. It's mix, mingle, and make a difference.
You're just so inspiring to me, girl. You're just doing so many things. And I know, it's just amazing to just see, the things that you have going on. And I just, like I said, I'm continuously praying for you and your organization and, praying that God continues to just bless you and give you those ideas and those big dreams to go after, because you really are a great inspiration and example to those who are, who may be thinking about something that they want to do and not really knowing how to do it or where to start. And I think you are in a great example of that. So I know that you talked about this year and things that you want to do for this year, but I'm curious to know, where do you see your brand and what do you want to see? Where do you want to see your brand go in the next 5 years? What's your glass ceiling dream,
Yeah. So the whole purpose behind navigating from undeniable events to the UDE agency was really so that I could provide more comprehensive services to clients. And so I've always had this dream of working in the sports arena, doing sporting events, larger scale sports events. It's kind of always just been my dream that seemed really far-fetched, right? And so last year, 2020, at the beginning, February, I got a contract with the NBA to produce an event during All-Star in Chicago. And so when that happened, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This right here is what I want to do. How do I do that? How do I continue to do that?
Yeah.
And so for the last few months and years, I've just really been trying to position the agency as a viable and reputable agency so that we can continue to produce experiential marketing campaigns, events for sports, lifestyle, and nonprofit brands. And so in the next few years, my goal is to be doing just that.
Yeah.
And so right now, during this downtime, I'm really just, trying to make sure I have everything in order and position the company to be able to do that. I'm just trying to make it work. But that is definitely the goal. Like I want. Thank you. Like when I look at some of the experiential event marketing agencies, they don't look like us. Like there may be a few little sprinkles here and there. But when it comes to that marketing agency or that experiential event agency, there's not a ton of diversity, especially in the leadership realm. And so I'm hoping to change that with the UDE agency. I'm hoping to hire more people that can come on and be a part of the agency. So I'm no longer a one-man show.
Yes.
And really, we produce events here in Chicago and, nationally, really. I have some big goals.
And I have no doubt that you are going to make it happen. Okay?
Yes.
You listen, so inspiring.
I received it.
So
Thank you.
Yes. I am so happy and honored that you took the time to come on and speak with me. Like I keep saying, I am continuously praying for, the UDE agency and your family, that God just continues to bless you guys and continues to just blow your mind, because I can tell, and I sense that, you are being faithful, you know what I mean? You're being obedient to what God is telling you to do. And even like you said in the beginning, doing it scared. I know that you're going to reap those rewards. And even if you don't see it this year, next year, I know that people are going to be blessed and touched by, the things that you're doing, the things that you're bringing to the community. So from all the way in LA, you got a sister friend over here that is encouraging you, is pushing you, is, praying for you, standing behind you, standing with you. And I hope that you guys, are inspired by her journey, her story. Obviously, it's probably even more, that she didn't get to share today, but make sure that you follow her on Instagram. Make sure you check in on her website to know all the things that she has going on. Again, if you want to get involved, I'm sure there's ways that you can do that. If you live in Chicago and you're interested in the things that she's doing, make sure that you tap in to her website, follow her on Instagram and all of her, social media, so that you know the things that she's bringing to the table. Keeping up with the UDE agency and all the things that they're providing. I really do encourage you guys to just stand behind this beautiful Black queen and all the things that she is doing, and just continue to shine. I'm so honored, like I said, to have you on. You've inspired me.
Thank you. I'm honestly honored to be here. Like I appreciate you even reaching out and being able to, share today. So thank you for even creating a platform like this, because it's so needed. Yes, we have stories, but unless we have a platform to tell those stories, it's like it means nothing. So thank you to you.
Thank you.
I pray that you continue to walk in your purpose and the fulfillment that God has over your life, because what you're doing is amazing as well. So this was just amazing. This is like Super Soul Sunday right now.
Yes. Like I feel so like I'm trying to tell you, I feel so inspired there. The things that you're saying, even like I said, just about your journey, just speak to me and where I'm at and things that I, kind of want to do and branch out into. And so I'm just super grateful that you were able to come on and share, So you guys, listen, I hope, like I said, that you feel inspired. I hope that you guys, took some nuggets away and like me will apply those things to your life and the things that you're doing. Again, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you have the best weekend. I hope that you have a blessed and prosperous weekend. And as always, welcome to the Honey Hive. Peace.